Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Maddie and today I'm going to be sharing with you my 10 before the end. Basically, this is another TBR video. I am so sorry to my loyal subscribers if you're tired of my TBR videos. I promise you I have 2 reading vlogs coming before the end of November. I'm just filming them right now and also pre-filming Bookmas, so things are crazy. I am reading a ton though. I love this video. I posted it on my TikTok and I posted one last year as well. It's really a good way to walk in and figure out what books you want to prioritize before the new year. Crazy that the year is almost over. I'm going to be sharing with you some new releases I have my eye on, some books I've been avoiding, and some popular books that I never read that I want to get to. So let's get into the video. The first book I'm going to share with you, I actually did already finish it. I didn't think I'd be getting to it this soon, but I did. And I included it on my time before the end on TikTok, so I'm going to stay consistent and include it on here. And also, I want to include it because the reading vlog I filmed for it will not be out until December, and I need to talk about this book because you guys need to add this book to your TBR before the end of the year. It's a new favorite romance of mine. It's one of my favorite books of all time now, and that is The Best Worst Thing by Lauren Oakey. It's on Kindle Unlimited right now, so do yourself a favor, go download it right now before you forget. It is a second chance romance with the best banter I've read all year. It's got that women's fiction element to it. It is an emotional romance. There are deeper elements to the story, but I personally love an emotional romance. How this book starts is Nicole is married to her longtime partner and husband, Gabe. Sorry, I forgot his name because he's irrelevant to the story. Well, that's a lie. He is relevant to the story, but Nicole and Gabe have been trying to have a baby for a while and it's not working. They're experiencing infertility and loss. So it starts with Nicole talking about how they're doing their final transfer with a surrogate. And if this one doesn't work, like, that's it. This is their last chance. But on the morning of the transfer, Nicole comes home early and finds Gabe has been having an affair this entire time. And then later on, she finds out that the transfer worked. And she doesn't know who to turn to on that day, but somehow she ends up at one of her friend's apartment, an old co-worker, Logan. And this is a second chance romance between Nicole and Logan. And you may be like, wait, I don't like the idea of a second chance romance if our main character was married, but I promise you it's not going to bother you because Gabe is a piece of garbage and nothing ever happened between Nicole and Logan while Nicole was married to Gabe. They never crossed the line. They were genuinely just friends back then with a strong connection. There was no cheating between them, so don't worry about that. And it has some of the best banter I've ever read. I was cackling, I was crying, I was smiling because I was so happy. Like, this book will make you feel all of the emotions. It is messy and there's a lot of back and forth, which I know everyone doesn't love, but I promise you it just works in this book for me because there's so much going on. You understand like the hesitation from Nicole in wanting to jump into a relationship again. Both of the main characters, Nicole and Logan, are book lovers, and the author shows this in the most perfect way. I know when you think of bookish characters these days, you think they're cringy because authors know that BookTok and BookTube and being a book lover is trendy these days, so they'll just throw in a bunch of references. But the book references in here were not cringy, and Logan is just the best male main character I've read in a long time. He's a golden retriever, all green flags. The pacing of this book was perfect, short chapters that made you want to continue reading. So sorry I started off by talking about a book I've already read. The next book I want to read before the end of the year has been making its rounds on BookTok, and that's exactly why I want to read it, because I've seen nothing but great things, and it is the perfect fall romance. It's called If It Makes You Happy by Julia Olivia. It is a small town romance where Michelle moves to Vermont to take over her parents' bed and breakfast after her mother passes away. She runs into Cliff, who is her neighbor and also owns the town's bakery, and things kind of unfold from there once Cliff offers to help her run the inn because everybody in that small town was really close with her parents, and they want to help Michelle even if Michelle is pretty stubborn and doesn't want help. She's your typical city girl, she's from Seattle, and it's very much giving Hallmark. But I love a Hallmark movie and I can't wait for all of the Christmas movies this year. People have been comparing this book to Gilmore Girls and Luke and Lorelai's relationship, and that makes me want to read it. So let's get to it. The next book I want to read for this video is one that I originally saw Taylor Tippett talk about. She is one of my favorite booktubers, and that is The Bright Years. This is a short read that I have, again, heard nothing but amazing things about. It deals a lot with family trauma, generational trauma, and healing. This is what the summary says. Ryan and Lillian Bright are deeply in love, recently married and now parents to a baby girl, Georgette. But Lillian has a son she hasn't told Ryan about, and Ryan has an alcohol addiction he hasn't told Lillian about. So Georgette comes of age watching their marriage rise and fall. When a shocking blow scatters their fragile trio, Georgette tries to distance herself from reminders of her parents. Years later, Lillian's son comes searching for his birth family, so Georgette must return to her roots, unearth her family's history, and decide whether she can open up to love for them or herself while there's still time. Told from 3 intimate points of view, The Bright Years is a tender, true-to-life novel that explores the impact of each generation in a family, torn apart by tragedy, but over time, restored by the power of grace and compassion. I will be getting to this, mark my words. And then to switch things up, I mean, this is a big difference. I really want to get to Midnight Sun by Stephenie Meyer. I am the biggest Twilight fan in the world, and I am actually going to be rereading the Twilight books soon, just for nostalgia and because I haven't read them in over a decade. I don't know. Normally when I want a Twilight fix, I watch the movies, but I want to reread the books again. Once I read all of the books in the original series, I am going to be getting to Midnight Sun, because if you don't know, this came out in 2020 and it is Twilight, but from Edward's point of view. And she is thick because this man loves to yap, and this man has been obsessed with Bella from the beginning, and it's going to be so amazing to see everything through his point of view, because from Bella's point of view, he was acting a fool. He was acting weird. Okay, I would have never fallen for him, but let's be real, I would have. It says, when Edward Cullen and Bella Swan met in Twilight, an iconic love story was born, but until now fans have heard only Bella's side of the story. At last, readers can experience Edward's version in the long-awaited companion novel, Midnight Sun. This unforgettable tale, as told through Edward's eyes, takes on a new and decidedly dark twist. Meeting Bella is both the most unnerving and intriguing event he has experienced in all his years as a vampire. As we learn more fascinating details about Edward's past and the complexity of his inner thoughts, we understand why this is the defining struggle of his life. How can he justify following his heart if it means leading Bella into danger? 750 pages. Then I want to read a book I've been talking about in every TBR video since it came out. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. But guess what? I'm actually going to read it. Like, I'm about to sit down this week and read it because I just need to. Everybody's been loving it, everybody's been crying, and I want to love it and I want to cry. I don't feel like reading the summary of this book, but basically it takes place at NASA or something. I have loved so many of TJR's books, and I'm sure I will love this one as well. Then I want to get to a popular BookTok book that I never read. It's actually a series. The first book is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. It is a YA fantasy, and I'm a little hesitant because I don't think I like YA fantasy, but I finally decided that I'm just gonna read the first one, and if I hate it, I'll DNF it, and if I love it, I'll continue reading it. It's as simple as that. And I actually read the summary on my last TBR video, and it sounds good. I really don't know anything about it, except maybe a guy named Jax, and I think it's a love triangle? Wait, there's no way it's a love triangle. It's YA. You can't fall in love with 2 guys at 13. Well, I don't think the main character's 13, but you know what I mean. Well, I guess Belly did. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. How far would you go for happily ever after? For as long as she can remember, Evangeline Fox has believed in true love and happy endings, until she learns that the true love of her life will marry another. Desperate to stop the wedding and to heal her wounded heart, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic but wicked Prince of Hearts. I just realized I said I don't like YA fantasy, but I was talking about Twilight. Is Twilight considered YA? It doesn't feel YA, but I guess when I read the books, it will feel more YA. In exchange for his help, he asked for 3 kisses to be given at the time and place of his choosing. But after Evangeline's first promised kiss, she learns that bargaining with an immortal is a dangerous game, and that the Prince of Hearts wants far more from her than she'd pledged. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. I really don't think I'm gonna like it, but if I do like it, I will admit I was wrong. Then I have my eyes on a thriller. It's called Stillhouse Lake, and it came highly recommended from this girl I follow on TikTok. And it's part of a series, which sounds fun because I really haven't read that many thriller series. I think the only ones I've read are A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I loved, and the Mind Up series, which I also loved. So maybe a thriller series will be good for me. It also caught my attention because the summary is crazy. It follows a family, a mother and her 2 kids find out that her husband is a serial killer. And this whole time she didn't know, obviously. So when they find out, the husband is sent to prison and the mom and the kids are on the run because his victims' family members have been threatening them and sending them death threats. So they relocate to a small town where they're starting to feel comfortable, and then a body shows up. This is also on Kindle Unlimited. I read a ton of thrillers. It's probably the genre I read the most of, honestly. It's between that and romance, and I really hope I am impressed by this one. Then we have a reread on this list, and that is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I obviously want to reread this before the movie comes out on January 9th. We are so close to me being insufferable because I already am. I'm already reposting edits of the trailer. It's not even the trailer, it's the teaser trailer. People We Meet on Vacation is a friends to lovers romance. The friends, Poppy and Alex, have kind of lost contact over the years. And for Poppy's job, she gets to bring along a friend or something. So she reaches out to Alex because he always used to be her +1 for these trips for her job. And they kind of pick up where they left off. All of this could be a lie, but that's what I remember. And I always tell people it's my least favorite Emily Henry book, but it's actually not. When I read this, I gave it 4 stars. I think I just felt let down by it because I read Beach Read right before I read People We Meet on Vacation, and Beach Read is one of my favorite books of all time. I gave it 4 stars, which is a good rating. People We Meet on Vacation is not my least favorite book. It's definitely not at the top, but my least favorite book is probably Funny Story. Sorry. I think that this book could be a 5-star read upon my reread. Justice for People We Meet on Vacation. We have 2 more books, and they are both on my physical TBR. We have 6 of Crows and The Secret History. This was also in my November TBR video, so again, sorry for the overlap, but I have a book plan for Bookmas that includes reading this book, so we're going to read it. I'm hesitant on reading this because I DNF'd the Shadow and Bone series by the same author, but I've heard so many amazing things about this book. People say that this is the best book ever written, and I want to give it a fair shot. I don't feel like reading the summary, but basically it is about a big heist, and there is an amazing found family aspect in here. And now, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I am so intimidated by this book. I haven't read that much dark academia, and the dark academia I've read has just been mid for me. However, this is almost like a modern classic at this point, so I need to give it a fair shot. This is the summary. Under the influence of their charismatic classics professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits at an elite New England college discover a way of thinking and living that is a world away from the humdrum existence of their contemporaries. But when they go beyond the boundaries of normal morality, their lives are changed profoundly and forever. She is kind of thick too. Almost 600 pages. All right, and those are the 10 books I want to read before the end of the year. Comment down below which one I should get to first and hype me up in the comments. Tell me I can do this. And if you're still watching this and haven't downloaded The Best Worst Thing, what are you doing? Go do it right now. You're going to love that book. And if you don't love it, 1, lie to me, and 2, you're wrong. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I post new bookish videos every week, and I will be participating in Bookmas this year. I'll be posting reading vlogs every day for the first 12 days of December, and I hope you guys will stick around. See you next time. Bye.